Heidi ho, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people who believe that Shaun of the Dead is the greatest cinematic achievement of all time, and people who are wrong.
Hi ho! Hi ho!
My car has a millennial anti-theft device. Some people know it as a manual gear shift, which means I don't get to push a little button for forward, reverse, and stop. No, I had to actually shift gears manually. I bought that on purpose. It's fun. With that in mind, the gear shift, the knob on the gear shift, is a perfectly round ball. Maybe not perfectly round. I did not take out a compass and a protractor, but generally it's a round, smooth ball. Somehow I managed to cut myself on it this morning. Literally drew blood from my fingertip. It's like I just got tested for diabetes. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I managed to cut myself on a round, smooth piece of plastic. I don't know if there was a scorpion setting on top of it while I grabbed it in the dark. I don't know if my gear shift was wielding a knife. All I know is that hurt, I'm bleeding, and I don't know how I did it. Anyway, my physical misfortunes aside, so yesterday was meeting central, or I mean meeting after meeting. And the bad part was, well, the meetings were the bad part, but the emails between every meeting was a barrage, and I mean a barrage of emails telling us of the upcoming meeting. Now, when you're in a group email and you get notification of a meeting, do not turn around and send that notification to the same group. We all know. You're not breaking new ground. You're not helping. Just don't. Alright, a couple of YouTube pages. I was telling the guy at work, he plays on his phone a lot, he looks up, but he's got a website he looks at called The Chive. Look it up. Basically, it's like a Reddit like. But anyway, well, it's a Reddit Lite, except it's not, the users don't submit. Anyway, look it up yourself. He looks at that just obsessively. So memes and nearly naked women. So I was telling him about a couple of YouTube channels that he'd appreciate. I don't remember how we started talking about prison. Oh, because he knows a lot of people in jail. And there's one called The After Prison Show that if you've never seen it, you really need to check it out. It's a guy that spent, it's been a while since I watched it, but I'm thinking like 9 years in prison. And this isn't one of those things for a crime I didn't commit. No, he did it. But he spent like 9 years in prison. He got out. Of course, all technology was basically pretty new to him. And the first little bit is him kind of getting back on his feet, getting a job, parole officer, kind of straightening his life out, staying out of trouble type thing. And then after he kind of got his feet on the ground and got running, the show developed more into, hey, this is what life in prison was like. And now this is life after prison. And it's pretty interesting because a couple things. It almost developed into a talk show. He talks to other people. He helps other prisoners. You know, he brings people, hey, you just got out. I was with this guy in Blankton prison. And he's gone on. He's got married. Pretty neat little diary he has. But the guy's a great storyteller. Funny guy. You know, good storyteller. Engaging. The other one I enjoy, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's Pat McAfee, the Pat McAfee Show, I believe it is. Now, Pat McAfee was a kicker, punter, Pro Bowl, all-star punter, in the NFL. And he kind of gave it up because he just wasn't feeling it anymore. That just wasn't his focus. And he proceeded to, actually he did stand-up. Then he started a podcast. And they video the podcast, put it on YouTube. And the guy is a fantastic storyteller, just a straight-up funny guy. And he's opinionated, but he's not political opinionated, you know what I mean? He's not, everything's not about how the right is wrong, the left is wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's mostly sports-related, life-related, things like that. And again, great storyteller with some hilarious anecdotes. Not anecdotes, what is it? Stories, all right? So, anyway, I was telling the guy I work with about those two. And I was watching the Pat McAfee show on the way, or listening to the Pat McAfee show on the way home yesterday, and gosh, just killing me. But one of the things he talked about was the substance abuse program that the NFL has. Man, that thing's just draconian. I mean, how in the world do these players get suspended with this, knowing how bad it is? If you get busted once, you are boned. It basically breaks down to, if you're in the NFL, you get tested one time between April 20th and the start of preseason. So you got a couple of months, 3 months, something like that. And if you're tested once in that time, then you know you ain't going to be tested again for another year. You're free. Toke up, I guess. Now, once you get caught with something, there's basically two different levels. And Pat McAfee was actually in those, went through it. What happened was he got drunk while in public intoxication charge. So he got into it. In the first series, man, it was, basically, I think a month, 3 months, something like that. Pretty severe monitoring. Then if you don't do everything right, or if they just feel that you're a possible addict, because you have to go meet with unbelievable number of psychologists, if they feel that you have an addictive personality even, they put you in stage 2, which is 2 years of being tested 8 times a month. And so, knowing all of this, and on that second state, or both of them, you have to tell, anytime you leave the state, you have to give 2 contact numbers. They can call you at any time, and you have a 4-hour window to report to drug test. It's, like I said, it's draconian. So anyway, knowing this, and you see these people, and what started was Josh Gordon, who has been busted. Oh man, how many suspensions has that guy had? I understand that usually these kids are young, 22, coming out of college, 21, whatever, and being star athletes, they've probably never been told no a time in their life. You were a star in high school, you were a star in college, now they give you basically a blank check. So I get it, man. If you'd have gave me basically just free reign and an endless bank account, if they'd have gave me that at 21 years old, oh, I'd been watching the world burn while I held the matches. So I can't imagine people. Now I know they give them classes for financial management and how these teams don't assign really babysitters for these people for the first 3 years. Anyway, but Josh Gordon got caught over and over with substance abuse issues. And the thing is, and it's funny, Ricky Williams was another one. He actually quit the NFL because he got tired of failing drug tests. Now, these are not cocaine. These are not meth. These are marijuana. Oh, but meth is not, or marijuana is not addictive. Really? Kind of sounds like it is. When you can throw away millions and millions of dollars for pot, sounds like you're an addict. Now, I'm not one of those believers that everything should be outlawed. That's not good for you. It should be outlawed. Yeah, I mean, who's we got 7.5 billion people in this world. Doing a few harmful things, thinning out the population, meh. It's not exactly the end of the world. It actually may help it. So, the thing is that, and I work in a profession where I get to deal with the fallout of bad behavior. You know, oh, gee, 99% of my patients are smokers. That stuff's still legal. And that's the only legal thing you can think of that kills basically 80% of their customers. I'm sure there's a number, and it's probably higher than that. But this kind of took a weird turn. Hey, that's what my mind goes through on these drives. Anyway, I know I just meandered. I don't care. My car, my video, my phone. Well, I'm going to see. Tomorrow we start these town hall meetings. Basically, the corporate bigwig come down and give the State of the Union, this is our goals for the year type thing. Which, hey, great. This will be my first one going to, and I'm really looking forward to those. They're doing a series of them, make sure they can cover everybody. They're doing about 15 of them in the next week or so. And they start tomorrow. Following Monday, they start a computer rollout where everything's supposedly going digital, and that's what the big meeting was about yesterday. Just kind of prepping for that, going live on the computer. And, oh man, lasted a whole lot longer than it should have. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do just so we make sure we get all the charges correct, we're gonna do paper and computer for a little bit. Oh, the grumbles went wild. This department, oh, that's just double. It's like, you don't even do the paper charges. Why do you care? So, and they're like, yeah, we figure we can do it for 2 days. Everybody's, oh, 2 days. It's like, geez, people, calm down. And some of the questions that we're having, it was literally, I expected somebody, could I bring my gaming mouse? Well, I'm going to wrap this up because, like I said, now I'm just literally just babbling. And we'll call it a day. So, as always, I will try to do better tomorrow.
Hey, Peter Parker.